through their advanced school, or maybe some joint service partners across the Army or other services, the impact you had on them on the instructor platform carries throughout the Marine Corps and other services today. So even though today may be your retirement, your legacy is going to live forever because of the impact you had on the Marines and other service members during your time at Fort Leonard Wood. So finishing up Fort Leonard Wood, you got the opportunity to come back to Camp Pendleton once again. I don't know how you pulled that off so many times, but I may have taken a little play out of your playbook for that. And you got to come to one of the most historic, storied units in the Marine Corps, 5th Marine Regiment. From there, you got to earn that French Fourragère and wear that for that time being. Finished up your time over at 5th Marines up at San Mateo, again, one of the best places here on Camp Pendleton, all the way up north, and found your home back to the 1st MLG once again. Worked into G3, coordinating service level training and exercises and equipment modernization and things of that nature for the MLG. And then probably culminating your career with the best build you could possibly ever have, get to finish your Marine Corps experience out in the Inspector General's office. I know there's so many out there that wish they could follow that career path and culminate in the IG's office. When you think about throughout that time period, 20 years you've been awarded almost every year for that. Looking back, 6 Navy Achievement Medals, 3 Navy Accommodation Medals, numerous letters of appreciation and awards like that, Combat Action Ribbon. Again, that's an award stack that any Marine would be proud to have and probably wishes they would have. So greatly awarded throughout your successful career. And then in addition to that, 6 Good Conduct Medals. So that's something to be very, very proud of. Very, very be proud of. That, again, any Marine, like I said, wishes they could have. But as you culminate and you finish, your time on active duty and you start your retirement, you look back and say, wow, 20 years. That went by quick. That went by real quick. But you're always going to remember those things that went back. And now you're going to go back to Kentucky with that title you've earned of Marine, and now you're going to add to that as retired Marine, and you're going to add to that as veteran now. And a career in the Marine Corps goes by in a heartbeat. One day you're on yellow footprints, and then the next day you're transitioning, or retiring in your case. But when you look back on that career, there's memories that's going to stay with you forever. Those memories of the first Marine that you had, whether that was in boot camp or SOI or MOS school, that had that immediate impact on you, and you had that immediate realization, like, that's the person I want to grow up in the Marine Corps and be like. Or one of those memories may be someone that had the exact opposite, that was just a thorn in your side the entire time. Or maybe it's those experiences you had in your MOP suits, in your MOP gear, and training evolutions while you're deployed, during Inherent Resolve, or during Iraqi Freedom when you made a push up through there. Or maybe it was the gas chambers you facilitated with a little bit extra CS, just to get the point across. Because if I remember an acronym that you taught us in the IG shop a few weeks ago, it was NBC, stands for Nobody Cares, but not nuclear, biological, and chemical. Because I think by what you witnessed here today and the amount of people that signed in virtually, there's a lot of people that care. Let's go back to some of those memories. Maybe it's those MREs that you just love to eat when you're in the field, that the only time it tastes great is when you're in the field. Maybe that's the spaghetti with meat sauce. Or maybe that was the old 4 Fingers of Death. Maybe it was a chicken with salsa. Or maybe it was a combination of those. Or maybe that memory is going to be that last inspection that you had. Or maybe one of those inspectors. Or maybe one of those cases that we worked. But nonetheless, you're going to have those memories forever. So with that, Master Sergeant, I would like to say I wish you continued success. Thank you for your honorable service. And I'd like to wish you fair winds and following seas in your future adventures.
Ladies and gentlemen, Master McCarty.
Takes a little longer taking these face masks off. I can breathe again for a minute. Sir, I just want to thank you very much. I appreciate you being my retiring officer. You've been a pleasure to work for. I know I've been kind of a pain in the ass these last couple of months, and I fully admit that. Had a lot going on. A lot has been changing for me. I appreciate all your time and everything you've been able to do for me. Hey, Doug, thanks for being the narrator today. You got a great narration voice. And you're going to do a great job up there in the IG's office. Before I move on to other things, I want to say it has been a fun adventure the last year working up there. I saw a different side of the Marine Corps that I have never seen. All the stories that you hear about, back in my days, this happened or this happened, you get to see those cases actually come through there and know where those stories originate. And I would say a good percentage of them come from those cases that get sent up to the IG's office. So thank you very much for the pleasure of being able to give you some input and work those inspections. And again, continued success to you, Doug, over there. First Sergeant Clark, this is amazing. This humbled me today. When I saw this, when I drove up today, I did not expect this at all. Like I said, 11 months ago, this was supposed to be a Grandier affair, a 4-day party with my whole family out here. I mean, from all over the country, they were coming out. So I'm hoping that some of y'all were able to figure out how to get onto Zoom. I've never used it before, so I hope you were able to get on there. If not, then for those that didn't, we're recording it on YouTube, or we're recording it on the iPad. We'll put it on YouTube tonight, and thanks for being able to watch this. But yeah, things have changed, but I really did expect, it wouldn't surprise me at all if we had to deliver these things at my doorstep, or mail them to me at this point in time. So the way this thing has changed so much. But again, thank you, First Sergeant Clark, and for your continued support and all your help throughout all this. But I put a few notes here on my phone so I could look at, but hopefully I won't have to use them too much. So I was wanting to do this in a dress uniform, but the gym's closed about 2 months ago. Gave me a good excuse not to do that. So that's why I'm not doing this in a dress uniform. So hopefully they open back up. I'll be able to get back in there as well. But either way, this is a great time. 20 years does fly by. Let me tell you right now, I still remember stepping on those yellow footprints just like everybody else does, and all the memories along the way. Ham Slice was my favorite MRE, by the way. They don't make it anymore. I don't know why they discontinued it. Probably gave a lot of bad memories to other Marines, but the Ham Slice was awesome. But yeah, there was definitely a lot of MRE memories, a lot of field memories. When I first came in, we were NBC. We're CBRN now. I'll talk about the CBRN folks here in a minute, but just want to kind of get into over the past few years how I kind of made the decision, hey, it was time to go. I came back from Iraq, was really motivated, and was getting promoted, knew I was getting promoted, and a time came where I realized I wasn't giving it 100% no more. And at that point in time, I realized, hey, this is not the business to be in where you're not giving this thing 100%, because you're either going to get yourself killed or even worse, get somebody else killed. So that's when I kind of made a decision right then and there. Hey, it's time to get ready to wrap this thing up and hang it up. So I'll be at exactly 20 years in August when I'm retiring, and I'm very proud to make it that far. I never would have thought when I enlisted in August of 2000 that I'd be standing here today 20 years later. And let me tell you right now, every single 4 or 3 years that came up for re-enlistment, I had to take a deep, hard look in the mirror and ask myself if I was ready for another 4 years of this, because it is a very intense job that you need to be able to dedicate yourself all the time to. So just keep that in mind when you're coming up for that re-enlistment. Hey, you may get a bonus or something, but are you ready to give everything you've got for another 4 years is the question you need to ask yourself, in my opinion. So, being a CBRN Marine, let me tell you right now, there's been some challenges being a CBRN Marine. For those of you watching at home or may not know what I'm talking about, my job, chemical, biological, radiological, nuclear defense specialist. They only pull you out when they need you, okay? Crack open only in case of an emergency. When I first came in, nothing for the first year and a half or so. And then all of a sudden, we found out we were going to Iraq in 2003. I was up till 1 o'clock in the morning giving classes on the gas mask, field protective mask, JSGPM, whatever you want to call it, M40, until 1 o'clock in the morning in the barracks rooms, because Marines were freaking out, making sure their things work, making sure their mop suits fit. Okay, so let me tell you, CBRN Marines out there, when you think you're not important, when it's time, trust me, people are going to call on you, they're going to need you, and guess what? You're going to work your ass off. Okay, so just keep that in mind. It may not seem like it today, may not seem like it tomorrow, but eventually the time's going to come where you're going to get real busy, you're going to be real important, and you're going to earn your paychecks more than you ever thought you would before. So I did have a lot of fun being a CBRN Marine. all the times in those mop suits, all the times in those chambers. I can remember being in Okinawa one time with COB 31 on Camp Hansen, and it was about it was a good 101 degrees that day in the middle of July. And Chief Officer Sparkman scheduled us for a gas chamber, because I know you'll watch this later. And it was about 100% humidity that day, or however high humidity you can get over there. And I had to stay in that chamber for a good 5 hours. We wanted the entire MU train. And I'll tell you right now, I lost 18 pounds. I stepped on the scale literally beforehand because I knew it was going to be a hot day. And I lost 18 pounds in one day. So it was that damn hot. And I don't know how I didn't go down because I already had one heat stroke. Let's see here. Hey, so as far as being a Marine goes, it's been a blessing. Again, I didn't think I would make it this far. And a lot of times, I was ready to be done. I've been knocked down quite a few times by my own self, by others. But I'll tell you right now, if you get knocked down, you have to get up and you have to start sprinting again if you want to make it, okay? I've been passed over for promotion twice. One time, I had no idea why. The other time, I knew exactly why. But you have to be able to look yourself in the mirror and say, I'm going to fix this. I'm going to fix it starting tomorrow, or actually as soon as you see the message come out, and get up and just keep on trucking and truck very hard. All right, because if you don't, you're never going to make it any further. All right. So, to my family watching at home, hey, to my mom and dad, first off, we had certificates here for you. I want to say thank you so much. I'll be sending those in the mail. Hopefully, when I got to Kentucky, I can just give them to you, along with the program over here. They've been a very nice program up. Sergeant Jimenez, before I go any further, I want to say thank you very much for the programs. They're very, very nice. And I appreciate all your hard work on that. 'Cause I know you put some time and some frustration into those. But my mom and dad, thank you so much. I'll get you your certificates. We all appreciate it. Thank you for everything you've done for me. All the support, before marriage, after marriage, before I came in, and after I get out, I'm sure that you will as well. And hopefully I'll be able to give you back some of that now. My sister at home, I know you're watching. It'd be fun getting back home and hanging out with you. All the rest of the family that was supposed to come out here, thank you so much for all your support, all your love, and we'll be back together soon, and all this stuff will be kind of behind us. Hopefully. Maybe a little different, but it'll get back to normal somehow. I started tearing up already thinking about it, but to my wife, you always see people crying these damn things. They talk about their wife, but thank you very much for everything you've done. And we've been through some times. I've been through some times, but you've always been there for me. And trust me, when it looks like I'm the strong Marine when I come to work, there's a stronger person at home. I mean that. Okay. That's about as much as I can say about that one, or if not, I'm going to sit here and make a decon trail. All right. But we have had an interesting time, though. We did get married 18 years ago. We met in Yuma, Arizona in 2003, and actually we met in 2002. We got married in January of 2003. 3 days later, I found out we got the deployment order to go to Iraq. So we spent our honeymoon in Iraq, and we wrote letters to each other on MRE boxes, tampon boxes that she sent back to me as a joke. And that was an interesting time, but we've been through it all. The kids at home, I can't forget about you. I'm so sorry. So the kids, I love you all so much. Thank you for all your support and all the damn crazy times you've given us. But it was fun. I appreciate it. We've had a lot of adventures all over the country, and hopefully they'll continue. Hopefully you'll be able to come out to Kentucky and see us real soon. Hopefully in a new house. But what else we got here? I think I made it through all the thank yous. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody. You always miss somebody, huh? Oh, hopefully I didn't miss anybody. I'm trying to use this microphone correctly. But hopefully I didn't miss anybody. Somebody always gets missed at these things. I think I got my wife. I think I got my mom and dad, my family, friends at home. But I want to finish off with just saying, again, how humbled I am today that we were even able to pull off this for a retirement. And in these crazy times, even though my plans got canceled for retirement ceremonies, it can be very much worse, and I do understand that. So trust